Thanks so much for joining me for my January favorites. Of course, not much new here, but there are a couple of products that I haven't mentioned before. But let's start with skincare. I'm going to try and throw in at least one skincare item every month because I always forget. So I have this back in my routine. It's the Rose de May Eye Lift by Shon. So I use this during the day or in the AM. I have a separate PM eye routine, but this is my daytime, and this does a nice job of cooling the under eye area with the applicator. It's metal here, and then you can do some lifting motions with this as well. And then I follow it up with the Shon Bio Lifting Eye Cream. And I've been testing out other eye creams, and I realized as I was testing other eye creams out that one of the most important things is that eye cream cannot interfere with makeup. This one does not interfere with any kind of concealer that I apply, which is not true of another one I've been testing. It's one of the newer ones I'm trying out, but I noticed when I applied that eye cream and I didn't wait long enough, it interacted with the concealer. This, however, does not interact with my concealers. Very important. I have a couple of different bases on, but one I wanted to show you just as a very natural, no makeup look, especially for the evenings. I love very minimal makeup in the evenings. I don't have to worry about SPF, so I can show as much skin as I can in the evenings, or I do, because I can. Yeah, that's right, because I don't have to worry about any SPF at that point. So I go in really, really lightly, and I went in with the Westman Atelier. These are the liquid super loaded in Peau de Pesche. And you'll see how sheer this is, but it does a really nice filtering effect. This is not a new product. I mentioned this last year. It's been a favorite many times, but it's something I've been pulling for, especially in these cooler, drier months. It's got some nice hydration to it, but I also have it on under my makeup on this side. So I'll show you that with just the slightest bit of concealer in case you want really like a no makeup, almost no makeup, no makeup. And then on the other side, I did go in with the Le Base Illuminatrice just to show you the difference. And of course there's more hold with this. You're gonna still get a glow. And then you can also add just concealer on top of this as well if you want to go that route. So those are a couple of options. This is for if you want a little bit more of a dry down, and then this one leaves some hydration behind. Then I went in with my favorite combination, and it's from a few videos ago when I did the matte foundation or modern matte video. If you haven't seen it, it's one of my favorite looks that I've done. It turned out so beautiful, and it was using some of my very favorite products. We went with the Shon Future Skin Gel in Cream on the whole face, just a really light layer, but then went into Perfect and do a little bit of mattifying in the center. This is the Future Skin Cushion in the shade Nude. So I went on top of the primer over here, but I also went on top of the Westman Atelier over here. So they look virtually the same. You can't really tell the difference, but I think the difference will probably be in the longevity of the makeup since this is a true primer over here. I wanted to show you something. I don't think it worked as well with this Future Skin though, because I'll use it more with something more sheer, like either this SPF, actually this is a favorite, an SPF 50. Again, not a new product, it's the Soleil Toujour. It's got more of a golden tone to it, but I still need a little bit of bronzing on the exterior. And then this is SPF, it's SPF 30, and they're like drops, they're illuminating drops. And I've been enjoying this for the daytime just to get a little bronzing. It's very lightweight. It's a really nice shade as well. As for heavy duty SPF, yes, Even Up SPF 50 is still a staple, as well as the under eye 3-in-1. That one is also still a staple, but this is also another one I use when my skin is feeling dry, because the Even Up can catch on dry patches. This one is nice and hydrating if there are any dry patches. I've introduced again tretinoin, so that's why I'm getting some some dry patches on top, especially on my forehead. So I just have to be selective about what I'm using when it's kind of drier than normal. Under Eye Concealer by Chanel. This is the one in number 40. Oh, and I've got that on. Nothing new there. I still love it. Love it, love it. Before I forget though, because I will forget by the end, I wanted to mention my denim. So the Nili Lotan Shon jeans, I read an article that I think balloon jeans are what they call them, are things that people are searching for. I think if you're gonna go with that shape, Nili Lotan's structure is so flattering because I feel like it's not the most flattering cut, but somehow she's found a way for that to be very flattering, very slimming. It's baggy in the right places and it's fitted in the right places, and it's also cropped, I think, at the right length. So I've got here a little image of it, and it's just in my flip-flops. I just wanted to take a picture really fast. It's probably a Vince t-shirt I have on with it. They're really comfortable as well, but bring a bit of tailoring to that balloon shape. And I know you've let me know, some of you, that you've picked these up and you want to pick them up in other colors, the pants. I'm right along with you. I have a pair in cream, and I think they just came out with a black pair of denim. I don't know, well, I already said I was only buying 5 things, so I don't think I can squeeze that into my 4 items that are left now for the year, but those are available. Actually, I think I'm gonna start talking about in my vlogs things I didn't buy during the month, because there are a lot of things I've said no thank you to because I'm set on sticking to my list of 5 wardrobe items for the year. That was a tangent. So going on to the eye makeup, I really enjoyed, like I said, that look I did for the matte makeup, which I used this palette. Chanel. This is the Le Beige palette in medium. So I reviewed the cool one, which doesn't look cool to me at all. In fact, do I even have it here anymore? Oh, here it is. This looks not cool to me. This looks cool to me. So if you want to see that video, I listed this, although I have been using it, like I've been trying to use it as one and done. Cranberry shade's nice as a one and done. That's nice as a one and done, but it hasn't been a favorite. I think I've been forcing myself to try to appreciate this a little bit better. But really, I prefer this one. Now, I looked all over and I could not locate it for you. So maybe by the time this posts, I'll be able to find it for you, but everywhere from Chanel to any other website that typically carries this palette, they didn't have it. They had other shades, but not that one. So I looked in my Chanel collection for something that was very similar to it, and I have 2 different palettes on my eyes right now. I have this one on the right side, but I don't have this on the left side. So I found a Chanel palette that I've loved before, and it reminded me a lot of it. And if you know, you probably already know what it is if you're very familiar with Chanel palettes, but it's the Tisse Essentiel. So I have this on this eye and I have this on this eye. And if you look at them, you can see they're very similar. I'll go more into depth in the Get Ready With Me what is similar about them, and you'll be able to see as I build how very similar they are. Yeah, if I didn't know, I would say, just looking in the mirror, it looks like the same palette on. So let me know if you've experimented and noticed a difference between these two. There are some slight differences, but it's very close. So if you really wanted this palette right now and can't get a hold of it, then this is very close. I'll show you that in the Get Ready With Me. Sometimes I'll put together a favorites video and realize like some of the things are not available, or they went out of stock, or I don't know what happened to them. So now I'm checking if there's something that's a favorite, if I can find something similar for you, then I'm gonna try and do that. Then for blush, I really am enjoying this blush, which looks so vibrant here, and I have it on now. It's very subtle. It kind of is like a pink version of the Valentino 09 that I love so much. It's got that sheer quality. It's got a glowy property to it. It's skin flattering. This is a little bit more hydrating though. It still has a little bit of like stick to it. If you have this blush, let me know if you experience the same thing. I can feel my brush almost sticking to my skin when I apply it. It's not like the smoothest application. It doesn't interfere with it, but there's a slight like hydrating feeling. If you have it and you noticed it, let me know. But I have already worn away quite a bit of the pattern there. That's how often I've been wearing this. It's really lovely. So between those two, Rose Polaire is the one I prefer. For the brows, same trio I've been loving. This is 03 Dark by Chanel. I used this powdery side, and then I used the Jones Road, this one. They're light brunette. Use this all the time, on and off camera. And then I went in and I refined with this. This is Victoria Beckham's Baby Blade in dark brown. So that's my winning eyebrow combination, where I get definition, nothing shiny, because I don't love shiny brows. I like when it absorbs the light. So something powdery for the base, a gel to keep things in place, and then the Baby Blade can help really be more strategic with this part of the brow, which I don't have as many hairs. I kind of have to fill in, and also to fill in any sparse areas that I may have missed. So that's why I use 3. So brushes I still love, Kabuki brush, blush and blur brush. I'll list other brushes that I used in the Get Ready With Me as well, but those are staples. Oh, and then the Sephora 71 for the concealer. And then we've got here the Chantecaille. This is the concealer I was mentioning, the Chantecaille Le Camoflauge Stylo. So when I go in with very light to like almost no makeup, I use this under the eye really lightly, and then on my dark spots as well. And you'll see the glow on this. It matches the glow of something like the Westman Atelier, as well as something like the Water Fresh Tint by Chanel. So I've been experimenting again with the Water Fresh Complexion Touch, this one, as a concealer as well. So pairing these two together. I'm trying to get the thinnest, most consistent layer possible when it comes to concealer. Then of course we've got the Victoria Beckham Trench for under eye brightening. So right under the lash line, then I just smudge it out. It really makes such a big difference, this little bit that I add right there. And then of course, another thing I do to correct is to put concealer in the corners. After I apply my makeup, it really helps just to tidy everything up there in the outer corner and then also right here. So we've got the Soleil Toujour in Honey. Although I have to say, I didn't use concealer here today. I used the Cushion foundation, which doubles as a concealer, but only in the shade Nude. That's the only one that works for me, but I have that just built up. And then I think the powder and the blush also help to blur that area. Then we've got Victoria Beckham's Marble. Hopefully this is also available. I really tried to stock up on that sale to pick up another Spark. I really wanted to pick up another Marble. They didn't have them, so maybe they will be back in stock. Peau Longest Lash Mascara remains a favorite. I've been trying out other mascaras that I received because I wanted to kind of revisit them. So if you're interested in other mascaras, I try them out in my vlogs, so make sure to head over to those. If you haven't seen a vlog before, it's more casual. The lighting is different. That's a casual setting. I try to use more natural light or just like a ring light. And then it's more relaxed, and I'm usually unboxing things that I either received or purchased, so you can see kind of what's coming up. Highlighter, we've got Victoria Beckham's. Still love this one. This is in Pearl, and it's a really skin flattering kind of highlighter, especially if you're concerned about texture here. It's more of a balmy texture, and the glow is very subtle, so it's not anything that's going to bring out texture if you want something that's a little more hydrating as well. I had several of these, like the Advent Calendar, and then I think I got a few from the Advent Calendar, and then this giant one, the L'Occitane. Just their hand creams are really nice. If you need a nice hand cream, I'm always happy with this hand cream. And this one is the dry skin hand cream. It's got 20% shea butter. It was just sitting here, so it made me think of it because I use it all the time. And then for lip products, I try on 3 for you in the Get Ready With Me. The first one is Bourbon Rose. I use this almost as a chapstick. It's that hydrating. Actually, you can see right there, the light shining off of it. That's how hydrating it is. This one just stays in my bag. So this one's a more natural shade. I also have Calla Lily. Calla Lily is more like a berry toned lip cheek. So let me show them to you. And of course I'll swatch these all, but this is Bourbon Rose and this is Calla Lily. So you can see the difference there. So it's really pretty if you want more color. I have a combination of the Rouge Coco Bombs by Chanel. So this one's in 940 Cocoon. And then I like to just take down a little bit of the brightness and the warmth with this one, Keep Cool. So thank you for the recommendations on how to use Keep Cool. I know you left me some really interesting ways to try this with lip liner, so I'll have to try. I still haven't tried that yet, but thank you for those recommendations because that gives me some ideas about how to try out these products if you have them. And as always, thank you so much for all of the recommendations that you leave. You call my attention to brands and products I haven't heard of before, but it's a really great place for me to learn as well. And do let me know how you use your favorites or any of these favorites. I'd love to know. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.